Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Super 7 Ultimates, the Wave 5 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers line. Here we have the black and gold Dino Megazord as well as the Green Ranger Radiant Glow, which does glow in the dark. These are the other two figures. We first looked at Bulk and Skull in yesterday's video, so now we're moving on into the other figures here. So these ones are cool. The black and gold Zord thing is like I believe it's a Japanese concept where they do special editions for special occasions. So like Bandai was doing like Comic-Con black and gold stuff, and then there was the Dragon Zord. The black and gold Dragon Zord was exclusive to Comic-Con in 2023, I believe. So I have that Dragon Zord, so I will be doing a comparison, you could see, with the Megazord. So you can see, obviously, color scheme-wise, the black and gold actually matches there. So that is really cool. So it's cool that we actually get those two, so that's kind of nice there. And then we have the Green Ranger Radiant Glow. So this is the third Green Ranger to be released by Super 7. We also had the DX Deluxe figure that is exclusive to Hasbro Pulse, which I believe is in stock right now. But we're going to take a look at the glow-in-the-dark version. It's kind of specific to a particular episode, a particular moment where I think it's when he's losing his powers and then he kind of radiates the green and it has this glow look. So it kind of replicates that, I believe. So let's kind of get into it. Big shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending these out my way. These are in stock right now at BigBadToyStore.com. So links in the video description below to the Black and Gold Dino Megazord as well as the Radiant Glow Green Ranger and Bulk and Skull, of course. And on top of that, Big Bad Toy Store is running their end of the year Super 7 sale. So you'll find lots of great deals on some of the older Super 7 figures. Not just Power Rangers, but like G.I. Joe, and the other ones that they're doing. So a lot of really cool stuff. So check them out. Some of the older waves are like 50% off right now if you buy like the whole wave as like a bundle. So some great deals. So links in the video description below. The Dino Megazord, looking at the package, we see it all there. On the back, the bio reads, the ultimate weapon of the Power Rangers against the forces of evil, the Megazord is a perfect fusion of all 5 of the Dinozords, Tyrannosaurus, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Saber-toothed Tiger, and Triceratops. Using their power crystals, the Power Rangers can form the Megazord's mighty battle mode, wielding the Mega Power Sword along with the Mastodon shield. Evil stands no chance. Then here on the Green Ranger, let's see what it says there. It says, Tommy Oliver, the one and only Green Ranger, first debuted as the evil 6th Ranger. Controlled by Rita Repulsa, he was able to defeat the Power Rangers and the Dino Megazord single-handedly. It took the combined strength of all 5 Power Rangers to break Rita Repulsa's spell. With his free will return, the Green Ranger could join the other Power Rangers in their fight against her. Tommy wields the power of the Dragon Dagger, which enables him to summon the control of the mighty Dragon Zord to help the Rangers fight against evil. So that's enough of that. Let's get these guys out of the boxes. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm well on my way to 50,000 subscribers, but I set the goal for the end of the year. So we have a little bit, about a month and a half left to go and a little under 1,000. So with your help, we can make it. So if you're a fan of the channel, maybe you've seen a video or two before, this is your first time, hopefully I earned your subscription, but go ahead and click on that subscribe button now. Okay, so here we have the two figures out of the packages. So we got the Radiant Glow Green Ranger, which is from the Green No More episode, to where Tommy Oliver loses his powers and the Green Ranger powers are transferred to Jason, the Red Ranger. He gets the shield and the Dragon Dagger and all that. And the good thing is the Ultimates Red Ranger figure actually came with the Dragon Shield and swappable parts and all of that. So I will have that figure. We'll do kind of the side-by-side comparison so we can kind of recreate that particular moment. I don't have a command center or anything, but we have that. The Megazord, is awesome. As you guys know, in 2023, my top 10 figures of the year, the Super 7 Ultimates Megazord was my number 1. It was the top figure of the year. Why? Because it's an absolutely amazing action figure. The black and gold version is no different. But I will say, it's not the classic design of, the colorful Zords and everything like that. So here is that Megazord figure. And it is such a good figure. Let's move Green Ranger over a little bit. Let's get the black and gold Megazord in there. And then we have our regular Dino Megazord. Such an awesome figure. I just love everything. The complete look of it. It's exactly like from the show where you have a guy in a big old suit. Megazord suit fighting around, and that's exactly what that looks like. The black and gold version, exactly the same. It's just the black and gold color variation. So that's kind of the only difference. The figure itself is the exact same, still really good. It just doesn't have the classic look. So that's why it, brings it down a few notches, but it's cool to kind of represent that, that again, the black and gold variant, the event exclusive type a thing that we have going with kind of Power Rangers and what we've seen in the past with the toys of old. And then, even Hasbro Lightning Collection did a black and gold Zord Ascension Megazord. So it is really cool. So there's the comparison there of the two Megazords. Again, same figure, just different color scheme. There again, I will show the Megazord with the Dragon Sword a little bit later. But let's go ahead and get into it with these two figures. Let's talk about like the accessories that they come with, which is really cool. The Megazord comes with a power coin. This is the power coin design that has like all the dinosaurs on there, as you can see there. An interesting thing is this is a complete black coin, whereas the Dragonzord coin had kind of the bronzish coin still, but it had a lot of shading in it, like black shading. But this is just an all black coin, and we get the the Zoo Ranger symbol there. It is a metal die-cast coin, as you can hear it. So that is really cool there. Off to the side, we get additional hands for the Megazord. Out of the package, he actually has the fist, and then he also has grip hands, which he is using currently to grip onto the power sword, as well as the Mastodon shield. And then the additional accessories, we get mini red, black, and yellow Rangers. But I don't know why this is, and looking at images, this is not how it was supposed to be. The little mini versions of the Rangers are the female version. So Yellow Rangers, you can see she's wearing the skirt. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, that makes sense. Except, no, she didn't wear a skirt, the Yellow Ranger, even though it was a woman. Red Ranger here. Oh, look at that. Wearing a skirt. That's not the correct Red Ranger. What's going on there? That doesn't make any sense. And then Black Ranger. Oh, in a skirt. That really doesn't make any sense. So I don't know why, but the three Rangers that we got on here, for whatever reason, are all female versions. I think that was just probably an error with the factory. So that is unfortunate. I don't know if it's like every single one where this has happened to. I would assume that is likely the case. Now, I don't do anything with these little mini versions anyway, so that means nothing to me. But it should have been accurate. And unfortunately, it was not. So this kind of sucks. So there we go. So those are the accessories for the Megazord. The accessories for the Green Ranger, as you can see there, he's got the dragon dagger, and we get certain hands and things like that. But we get two unmasked head sculpts. This head sculpt this head sculpt with the bandana, and he's smiling. I think this one's completely new. The other Green Ranger figure, the evil Tommy Green Ranger figure with the bandana, he does not have, he has like that more like angry looking face. So I think this one is new. Now, they definitely made improvements over like the Wave 1 Tommy Oliver head sculpts that we had gotten, because those ones were extremely pale, very cartoony looking. Even these here have a little toon look to them. They don't look as realistic to me. Like the Bulk and Skull look really good. These don't look bad, but they just don't look as like live action realistic in my opinion. But again, they have come a long way fixing the skin tone and whatnot. So these look pretty good. I have images posted, like Toy News I will have them, and then on my Instagram I'll also be posting pictures so you guys can see, how they look on there. We also get the swappable arm pieces. Now, these arms are actually the ones that come out of the figure, out of the package. It's to truly represent that Green No More instance where he doesn't have the dragon shield because he transfers it over to Jason. He isn't wearing the dragon shield. He doesn't have the armbands, so that's what this is. So I will swap out these arms again so we can kind of see how that looks. And then we have a bunch of hands. So we get fists out of the package. He gets the dragon dagger holding hands in there. We get some grip hands with like let me see. So we essentially kind of get the same hand. So we get the same grip hands, as you can see, but one with a horizontal hinge and then one with a vertical hinge. And then kind of the same thing with the left hands, although they do look a little bit different. These grip hands are a little bit different, as you can see there, but they also have the opposite hinges on there. And then even like these gesturing hands there have the horizontal hinge, and then he also has the morpher. So here we have the Green Ranger morpher, which you can see the signature gold morpher, and then it's got the green lighting and whatnot, and then it's got the Dragonzord power coin in there, and then you get the morpher there on his belt too. So this is definitely a nice touch there. Again, I'll have images posted so you guys can see how he looks holding the morpher there. So there we go. So let's go ahead and let's go over the Green Ranger first, and then we'll finish out the video with the black and gold Megazord. Okay, so here we have an up-close look at the Green Ranger figure. Now, it might look like it's kind of glowing. That's because we have a semi-translucent green plastic here to kind of give it that bright look to it. So it's this, neon green color. None of the glow in the dark is really working because I got bright lights in here. I will try to get video of that, but in all honesty, with the camera, it's hard when there's little to no light to be able to see the glow in the dark and see how it kind of comes through. I may have to, take video with my phone to see if I can make it work that way, but we'll see. But I'm going to swap out these pieces so we can have our green no more moment. So you can just pop out the arms very easily over there at the shoulders. They come off, you can just pull them out, and then to pull off the dragon shield, you got to pop that head off, and then you could just simply work that over. And then here you could see we've got our green no more kind of standard Ranger look there. So let's get the regular arms without the gold bands on there. Let's get these going. So there we go. We have our Green Ranger. And I know it looks a little funny when you have a Green Ranger without the dragon shield, but there was a couple of moments when he's done that. Like he even passed on the shield to the Black Ranger, Zach. So there's a moment in one of the episodes where he does that, and so he doesn't have the dragon shield. And there we go. So here we go, just like the original release of the Green Ranger, which I will show comparisons since we now actually have 3 releases. There we go. Looks pretty good. The morpher looks really good on there. So it's kind of nice. But let's go ahead and put this under some light. Let's try to charge up the glow in the dark, and let's see if I can get some video of the glow in the dark in action. I have a feeling it's going to be very difficult to do, but let's give it a shot. Okay, so I did video with my phone, so hopefully the audio and stuff comes out, but like having it in hand in the dark, like it's a pretty bright glow. So that is really cool, but like there's no way I can get it like on standard camera, so hopefully the video comes out decent for you guys. But yeah, the glow in the dark is pretty cool. Okay, so for some side-by-side comparisons, we have our 3 Green Rangers. We have the Wave 1 release there. We've got the Deluxe DX Hasbro Pulse exclusive there. And then here we have the Wave 5 Radiant Glow Green Ranger. And you can see they're all essentially the same figure for the most part. Obviously, this one was different because it was kind of recreating kind of, the toys back in the day when they didn't get, the gold trim, like the new pieces, the gold bands and things like that. But pretty cool there. Another side-by-side comparison that is an important one. Here is where we transfer, because green no more, so Tommy is not able to keep his power, so they have to transfer the powers. So they transfer him to the Red Ranger, Jason, so Jason then gets the Dragon Shield, he gets the gold bands on the arms, and then he gets the Dragon Dagger there. So that is pretty cool. I remember as a kid watching, and it was like, oh man, that sucks. But then Red Ranger got the stuff, and he's like, oh, he looks cool. But Tommy Oliver was always the fan favorite, including mine. So it's like, oh, bummer. But it was cool every now and then, he'd pop in or whatever. And then when he got the White Ranger powers, that was really cool. But this is cool to kind of recreate that. It is a little bit odd that they would do a whole release of a figure for basically an extremely short amount of time in a single episode. But it's a Green Ranger. He's really popular. It's Tommy Oliver. So I don't know that anybody's like, don't give me any more Green Ranger. I don't like Green Ranger. So it's probably one of those things there. But let's go ahead and check out the articulation. Okay, so the Green Ranger, he can look up that much there. He can look down that much there, so that actually works out pretty good. You get a full rotation in that head sculpt, not any pivot or anything like that. The shoulder, you can get the arm to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. You have the upper bicep swivel in there. You get a single jointed elbow with a swivel at the elbow, gives you just under 90-degree bend there. Wrist swivel, and they hinge. A lot of the hands have the vertical hinge, and a lot of them have the standard horizontal hinge, so it just kind of depends on the hands. We have an ab crunch here, so he can crunch forward a little bit there. He can go back a little bit there. There is a ball joint at the waist, so you could tilt a little bit to the sides, not a huge amount. Swivel at that ball joint waist. The legs you can get to go out that far apart, so that is really good there. He can kick forward that far there, so not a huge amount. You can push it a little bit. Leg goes back a little bit, as you can see there. You get a little bit of turn at that thigh, not a huge amount, only a little bit. Single jointed knee gives you that much bend, about 90 degrees there. There is a boot swivel in there. Foot hinges down that much there. You get a lot of hinge up. Ankle pivot pickles at the bottom of the feet. And just a heads up, the hinges on the wrists and the ankles, the paint will flake like crazy because they paint the hinges. They do use a white plastic, so I probably would have preferred that they just not bother painting it. But there is a little bit of a shinier plastic to the hinges, but I mean, I probably prefer that than getting white paint chips everywhere. So just a heads up on that. And then I always recommend with Super 7 figures, probably heat up the figures just in case. I did break a wrist peg, because I was like, oh, let me just, and then, I was all like rough with it. So I recommend heating up your figures ahead of time. Whoops. Okay, and then here we have all of the Rangers together, which is really cool. So it's nice to see the entire team all kind of there. And of course, the team was there when Tommy was losing his powers. So that is really cool. So now let's go ahead and switch gears and let's jump over into the black and gold Megazord. Beautiful Megazord. Again, let's just do another side-by-side comparison so you guys can see kind of the color differences between the two and where the differences really lie. Essentially, the entire Megazord is just black with the anything that was silver on the Megazord is now gold, and then any of the color is basically now black. So, and then like spots where there was yellow, there is black, or I guess could be red. It's just a whole different color scheme. And again, it's not anything accurate to the show, accurate. I don't even know if they've done black and gold in the comics. So it's nothing like that. Again, it's just kind of represent those specialty things. So my understanding is that in Japan, they did this a lot where they would have like a special release and they would do it in these black and gold colors. So that continued with Power Rangers. So that's why we have that here. Super 7 did reaction figures to the Megazord and the Dragonzord in black and gold, and those were exclusive to Power Morphicon 2022, I think it was. I actually went there and I actually got them there. I was all really excited to have them, and I think they're cool. They look beautiful on card. But now it's the full Ultimates version's turn to get it. So no doubt that this figure is awesome because the regular release is awesome. But let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation of the figure. We don't need to kind of go into close-ups because you could kind of really see what it's all about already. There's some good details in the paintwork and whatnot. Not a whole lot going on in the back, of course, but you could just see kind of the cool details of the Megazord. It just looks really, really nice. But let's go ahead and get the Mastodon head shield out of there. But that looks really cool. It's a nice thick shield there, so that is nice. The sword there, you can see you could fit it into the grip hand, the C grip hands that we got in there. It's a tight fit, so let's get that out of there. And then we have our Megazord. Now, the articulation isn't crazy on this guy, but he does have all the right articulation in the right spots. They are a little bit limited, but think about in the show where you had this guy that wore a suit, and realistically how well they can move around, right? It's probably a little bit difficult. So the head, you can get swivel on that head. Not really a whole lot of pivot or anything like that. You can't really look up, can't really look down, but how else can you even really make that happen, right? The shoulder, you can get the shoulder to go straight out or out that much there, not really straight out. You can do a full rotation in that shoulder, which is cool. You get a single jointed elbow, so you don't get a huge amount of bend at the elbow, so you just get that much bend there. But you get a swivel at that elbow also, and then wrist swivel, and they have the vertical hinge on the grip hands, and then standard horizontal hinge on the fists. The diaphragm or torso, you get a little bit of a rocker up here at the top, a little bit of swivel as well. So it should tilt a little bit, but not a whole lot. It doesn't crunch or anything like that. So there's just a little bit of movement and then a little bit of side-to-side movement in there. The legs go out a little bit apart. You can see this portion here is kind of a rubbery material, so you could kind of push it to its limits a little bit. He can kick forward a little bit. As you can see there, it goes like 1 click forward, 1 click back. So you have that there. You get a little bit of a turn at that leg as well. A little bit of turn on the lower leg at the knee. And you only get a little bit of bend at the knee. So just a heads up on that. You don't want to bend it too much. You don't want to force it too much. But a guy in a suit, basically all he's going to be doing is doing some walking and things like that. So you can easily get him into a walking pose there. The heads have a little bit of movement to them, so it provides a little bit of ankle pivot, but there's not a whole lot going on in there. It's just to provide some additional movement. There technically is a hinge, so it hinges a tiny bit, but it's not a whole lot. So just a heads up on that. So not crazy articulation by any means, but articulation where it counts. And again, very realistic and accurate to what the Megazord would do in the show, because again, they had the limitations of it being an actual person in a suit. You know, there's only so much that, you know, somebody is actually capable of doing. So really cool, really happy with the way it looks. But now let's see how he looks with the Dragonzord side by side. Okay, so having the Dragonzord, the black and gold version, next to the Megazord, it's really cool seeing them together because, you know, we get the matching pair. So definitely a really nice touch to have them together. So again, you know, nothing accurate to the show or anything, but they're just really cool action figures. The Super 7 Ultimates figures, yeah, they have their limitation in articulation. Sure, the Zords do too. But they're awesome figures. Like, the swords don't move around. They, like, shouldn't be super articulated. They're just really well done action figures and really look exactly like they did from the show. And I think that's kind of one of the bigger, more important things when we think of nostalgia, when we think back to our childhood, or my childhood, you know, 31 years ago when the show first debuted, and just falling in love with it and everything like that. And just having these toys now, it's just like, oh, it's just so cool. And then even getting special editions like this, you know, still brings me back to that feeling. So, you know, I really enjoy it. And really, that's what it's all about. Okay, so that's my review to finish out the Wave 5 of the Super 7 Ultimates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We have the Radiant Glow Green Ranger, as well as the Black and Gold Dino Megazord. You guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of these two action figures? Again, the Super 7 Ultimates Power Rangers figures are a whole lot of fun and really all about nostalgia. Kind of a throwback to the original toys by putting a modern twist on them, and I'm really happy with it. The Bulk and Skull are awesome, so make sure to click on the little screen thing when it gives you like the next video recommendation. It's going to be for the Bulk and Skull, so make sure to check out the video because those figures are awesome. I'm very pleased. If you're looking to pick these up, Big Bad Toy Store has you covered, as these are in stock right now, so links in the video description below. And again, right now, as of this recording, they are running their end of the year Super 7 sale. So some of the older waves, waves 1, 2, and 3 are 50% off when you buy the entire wave bundle. So links in the video description below to all that. And again, big shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store. Make sure to head out their way for all your action figure needs. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.